Welcome to a new series I like to call Am I a Sucker? And usually the answer is yes, but let's find out today for sure. All of these I was sucked in, pulled in by the hype, by good recommendations, people on YouTube, people on TikTok, you know, was influenced. So let's go through these one by one and see if I am a big old sucker or if any of these products are actually good. I have been building up my Kosas stash pretty substantially. I have more behind me, but I really want to talk about these main items here. The Kosas concealer, the concealer everyone talks about, the blush and highlighter duo, and I have two cloud set powders, one in the original and one in like the tester size. The bigger size, I don't know why I like have such a hard time opening it. It does have super tiny glitter particles in it, and then I have the smaller one just in a darker shade. Quick review, it's not cheap. Kosas is not cheap. It's not the most expensive either. Like there's definitely more expensive things at Sephora, but I have personally pretty much loved everything I've bought from Kosas. The problem is it's very that girl on the go type makeup. It's not into long lasting full beat type makeup. So like this concealer, it's definitely not full coverage. I think it looks best when it's left creamy because what it's so great at doing is adding some brightness, not necessarily coverage, but brightness. And then also it's really good at not adding more lines under your eyes. This de-emphasizes the lines as much as concealer can do. However, it doesn't like to stay in place. And once you set it, all that dewiness and all of the non-lininess goes away, and then you're just left with the cakiness that you didn't want in the first place. So I would only get this concealer if you can stand not to set your concealer. I like to set it with powder because I want more coverage. I just have like the biggest dark circles. So I do like this, but I don't recommend setting it. So keep that in mind. I do agree though with its rating on Sephora. It has a little bit over 4 stars, which I agree with. I don't know if it deserves all the hype that it gets online. Everyone's like, oh, this is the best concealer ever. This is not the best concealer ever, in my opinion. It moves around a lot. It doesn't look good when it's set. However, it does the best job at a natural finish under the eyes. Next up, let's go with the highlighter blush duo. The blush is fine. I think the issue with the blush that I have in particular is I just don't love the color. There was really no color that I loved. They had 2 different options, more of this like pink, and they also had like a peach option, and I like it. It's pretty. The real star of the show is this highlighter. This highlighter is absolutely beautiful. It's very much like no makeup, looks like your skin but better. It is such like a natural wet look, not glittery. It is an absolutely beautiful highlighter. It's worth it to get this palette just for the highlighter. Same thing with the concealer though. You obviously can't put powder on top of it. This highlighter in particular, it cannot be put on top of powder. So keep that in mind. It's for someone that does not like to powder, does not want to powder. If you have an aversion to powder, this would be great for you. If you love powdering, this would be a problem. However, this highlight is absolutely stunning. The cloud set powders, there is a slight shimmer in them, and it does say it's like a dewier powder. I wouldn't say it's dewy on the skin. However, it doesn't look drying, and I absolutely love these powders. I put it under my eyes because it's not heavy, but it does add some coverage. And if I add a translucent powder under my eyes, I lose all of the coverage from the concealer. So this is just like that perfect in between where it's not a powder foundation, so it's not heavy, but it's not a translucent powder, so I'm not losing the coverage. I love these. They make my skin look really, really smooth. Most of the things I have purchased from Kosas I do like. I don't think I would repurchase the concealer for now. When it comes to Kosas, I don't think I'm a sucker. Some Charlotte Tilbury, for those of you who can't speak weirdo like me. I have a lot of Charlotte Tilbury in front of me, and I love Charlotte Tilbury. I'm gonna start off with the lip gloss trio. I think this is great. I love this lip gloss trio. I don't usually use an entire tube of lip gloss. I usually don't use up full things of anything before they expire, except concealer. That I will use up, but lip glosses I don't usually use up. So I thought this was a great option to just get these 3 lip glosses. It's a clear gloss, it's Pillow Talk, and then it's Pillow Talk Medium. The best of I was gonna say both worlds, but three worlds. It's not like they're breaking the mold with these lip glosses, but I do like them. Am I a sucker? Probably, but I do really like them. And I would not discourage anyone from buying them. I mean, I like them. Am I gonna say that you need to get them? No, but do I say that you shouldn't get them? No. So let's move on to the other two lip products. And some of you may disagree. I know a lot of people on the internet are like, oh my God, Charlotte Tilbury is so overpriced. And maybe that's so. However, I think that this lip liner and this lipstick turned out beautifully. I couldn't have asked for a better lip color for my wedding day. So I'm really, really happy with them. This is the Lip Cheat Reshape and Resize Lip Liner in Pillow Talk Medium. And then I got the lipstick in Pillow Talk Medium as well. And then I put the regular Pillow Talk gloss on top. I really loved the combo. I think it looked great. Can you achieve a similar effect, if not the same effect with other things? Probably. But again, I liked it. And if I'm a sucker, then I'm a sucker for Charlotte Tilbury. What can I say? Let's just keep going. I also have the Charlotte Tilbury blush, and oh, I can't get it open. This is the blush in Pillow Talk Medium as well. Am I a sucker? I'm a sucker because this is a $40 blush. However, I love it. And I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry about it. That might be too much. But I also wore this on my wedding day. I actually wore this and a pop of Milani blush, a pinker one, right on the center of the cheek. And it looked so pretty. I'm so happy with the way my makeup turned out. It was beautiful and I couldn't have asked of anything more from my makeup. I absolutely loved it. I don't think I've ever looked that pretty ever in my life. So I really liked it. And I like Pillow Talk Medium more than the regular Pillow Talk or the original one. It just has a little bit more like oomph to it. I know a lot of people say that it's a waste of money, but to me, it looked perfect and I have wanted this blush for a really long time. If you want matte, stay on the outside. If you want to pop the shimmer like a highlight, you can do that. You can really customize it however you want. I think it makes my cheekbones look better because it's a darker shade, almost like it has a little bit of brown in it. So it gives me a lifted contour type look. Is it necessary? No. It's not necessary. It's obviously not necessary to have a $40 blush. I'm not going to say that it's the most amazing blush ever and that you have to have it and that if there's one blush, you must have this one. However, I don't regret it and I'm going to use it. I have it. I would buy it again. And even though I have other blushes that I also really like, this is one of my favorite blushes. Let's move on to the Beauty Light Wand. This is kind of similar to the Kosas products in that you can use this if you're not gonna set your face. If you're gonna set your face, this is not gonna really work for you. The part that makes this special is that it's glowy and it's kind of like a highlighter and a blush in one, and it is really pretty. It's like liquid sparkle on your face. It is absolutely gorgeous. But again, you can't set your face and you can't put this on top of powder. This is a more expensive item and it's not as versatile, but I don't know that I needed it. Out of all the items I bought, I'd actually probably say that this Beauty Light Wand is probably my least favorite item. I do think it's really pretty. I just don't get the most use out of it. The Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk eyeshadow palette. Yes, I'm a sucker, but yes, I love it. I love this eyeshadow palette so much. I think it's beautiful. The colors are beautiful. It's like that perfect everyday, every occasion, glam it up, tone it down eyeshadow palette. Yes, the formula is not out of this world. The packaging is nothing to gasp at. It doesn't have diamonds on it or gold leaf or whatever. I love the colors. I'm sure you could dupe them, but I just love this. I travel with it all the time. It looks perfect on my eyes. It makes them look like the perfect, nice hazel shade. This will definitely help bring out that green in my eyes, which I love. And the formula is really, really easy to blend. It's not like a Pat McGrath, Natasha Denona type formula. Like it's not gonna knock your socks off like that, but it's just a super easy formula and it blends really easily. When I use this palette, I use one brush. I mostly use this in the car. Like it's just the easiest palette. It always turns out good. 1, 2, 3, go, you know? You can use this in a couple minutes. You have a full eye look, and this is all you need. I love this palette. I think it is outstanding. Can you dupe it? I'm sure you can. Can you get similar colors for cheaper? I'm sure you can, but I'm not sad that I bought it. I love it. I recommend it. And am I a sucker? Maybe I am, but I think it's worth it. I love this eyeshadow palette. Let's move on to Tatcha. So I have 3 Tatcha products here. I have the Liquid Silk Canvas, I have the Kissu Lip Mask, and I have the Luminous Dewy Skin Mist, and I don't like any of them. This Kissu lip mask is just goop city. It is so goopy and uncomfortable and sticky. I don't like it. It doesn't really hydrate. It just feels like goopy stickiness. Grade A hair sticking to lips, lip gloss material. If you are caught in the wind with this on and your hair is down, forget it. You're gonna have to wash your hair after. And as far as the primer and setting spray go, I just don't really like them at all. I don't think that the Liquid Silk Canvas does anything. I also have noticed that it pills on my skin a lot, so I don't need that in my life. The setting spray smells like rosemary. I don't really need to smell like focaccia bread. I love it, but I don't need to smell like it. So I don't love that. Also, it sometimes looks dewy, sometimes doesn't look dewy, and it doesn't make anything last longer. If I'm using a setting spray, it is primarily to melt things into my face and make it last longer. And this just doesn't really do that. I don't really like them, and I would not repurchase them. Honestly, nothing from Tatcha I've ever bought I would repurchase. For my birthday gift from Sephora, I got the, I think it was like the water cream or something, whatever, or the rice wash and the water cream. I don't know, but whatever they give out as the set for your birthday from Sephora. Got that. It was a lotion, a face lotion, and a face wash. Didn't really like that either. They weren't bad. They just like were fine. And for fine, I don't need to pay those prices for. In my world, if it's gonna be that expensive, it better be really, really good. I definitely was a sucker in buying those, but at least some of these products I got discounted at TJ Maxx, and then that set, a set I got for my birthday, so that was free. I wouldn't purchase it. Up next, we have Hourglass. Hourglass is really, really pricey. They don't have the best shade ranges. I think that that's kind of problematic as a brand. This ambient light powder thing, meh. I don't think it looks better on my skin than any other setting powder. As far as a highlighter goes, my Pure Nude highlighter from Essence, that's like a couple dollars, looks nicer than this. While I was very intrigued by this, and while it's very dirty and I need to clean it, I was definitely a little bit sucked in by this, and I wouldn't say that it was a necessary purchase. I feel like I still have a lot of product left in it, and it's just not, I just don't reach for it ever. If I'm gonna go for a dewy setting powder, I go for almost anything else besides this first. However, this Illusion Hyaluronic Skin Tint is the nicest foundation complexion product I have ever used. And I'm not saying that lightly, because I have some other things on my list that I love, but this is the most smoothing thing I have ever put on my face. And this is a skin tint, and it actually provides really, really good coverage. I like this a lot. It really is a really, really fantastic foundation. That's a skin tint, but that's some good coverage. Am I a sucker? No and yes. Hourglass definitely has products that I think are worth the price, especially with the cost that high-end foundations are these days. These other companies that are coming out with foundations, and they seem like they're all $50 or above. So maybe Hourglass isn't the worst offender anymore, you know what I mean? But definitely back in the day, I was like, oh my God, that's a lot for a foundation. It still is a lot for a foundation, but it's a little bit more on the same level, I'm gonna say, as other foundations, just because now everyone's pricing their stuff at like above $50 for a bottle of foundation. So anyways, I would definitely repurchase or purchase a foundation from Hourglass. I'm not sure that I would buy anything else. I've heard that their primer is really good. These powders, I just think that there's cheaper options that are just as good, if not better. Also, Hourglass, I forgot to mention, my favorite concealer is the Vanish Concealer. I can't recommend it more. It is the most full coverage concealer. Even when I blend it out with a sponge, it still magically remains full coverage. I love it. I actually open it and then let it sit for a couple weeks so it kind of dries up a little bit, and then it's the perfect consistency. I get a little bit of a pinker shade than I need because then it cancels out some of the bags under my eyes, some of that like bluish purpley tones, and I find that that is just like the perfect consistency and formula for my under eyes. I think it's the best. I've never used a better concealer. I am definitely not a sucker. That is some good shit. Let's do NARS next. Now, I have a lot of stuff from NARS. I only pulled out 2 things in particular just because these are super, super viral, either over my lifetime or in the past year. So these are things that I needed to get because of the hype online. I'm not including like everything I have from all these brands. But the first thing is gonna be the NARS Orgasm Blush, and I'm cleaning it as I'm showing you because it has my fingerprints all over it. But I actually got this on sale at Marshall's for like $10 or $15. I don't even remember. My favorite blush ever is called Outlaw. It's from NARS and it's discontinued. That's honestly the only reason why I have this Orgasm blush, is because I was kind of just trying to replace it, find something that was similar to Outlaw, and I was like, well, this is like their bestseller, so let me try it. Everyone hypes it up so much. This is pretty, but you don't need to spend the money. Go get a Milani Baked blush at Target for $7 or $8. They're better, they last longer, they have a more diffused look on the skin, and this is just not really where it's at. I don't know. This one in particular is just like not super pigmented. It doesn't last very long on my skin. Even the Outlaw didn't last very long on my skin, but I didn't really mind it because the color was so pretty. Whereas this one, where is it? I don't know. It's pretty, but I don't think it's necessary, and I definitely wouldn't buy it at full price. Am I a sucker? Probably. It's not the nicest blush ever. Probably wasn't worth the $10 or $15 that I even spent on it. At least I didn't spend the full price on it. The NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. I love this. This has been my favorite foundation since the Hourglass one. I don't wear this anymore because it's so expired, but again, I don't want to throw it away. Whether it's glam or just going out for the day, this is what I'll wear. I love this. It is so lightweight. It looks really, really great and natural on my skin. And I'm also cleaning this as I talk to you because I'm trying to get all the makeup off. This is expensive. I'm not sure how much I believe in all the skincare hype of it. Oh, it's more expensive because there's skincare in it. Whether that's true or not, whether it actually makes your skin look better, I don't know. But that's not really why I'm using it. I don't use it every day either. I work from home, so I'm not wearing foundation every day. I would never be able to tell you anyways if it makes my skin better or not. But what I can tell you is that it is an absolute beautiful foundation. It's not heavy at all. It's lightweight, but it still covers everything. You can do more of a light coverage if you want. You can go full coverage if you want. It's just a really nice foundation. It reminds me a lot of the Shiseido Synchro Skin one. You know how it's full coverage, but it's super lightweight, super liquidy and lightweight? That's what this NARS one reminds me of. Definitely not a sucker. Definitely expensive, but not a sucker. It's worth the money in my opinion. That is it for me today. Thank you so much for coming along and seeing if I'm a sucker or not, which I would say in most things in life I probably am. I really do see and just want to purchase everything on the internet, so I really am a sucker, so it's really just a toss-up of if it's worth it or not. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to click all the happy buttons on the page, and I'll see you in my next video.